Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, Bobby, back with another video. We're diving deep like Mariana Trench deep into the world of conspiracies. We're talking UFOs, government cover-ups, the whole shebang. So buckle up, grab your tinfoil hats, and let's jump right into the top 5 conspiracies you need to know now. Okay, so picture this. A global pandemic, economic turmoil. Everything's kind of going haywire, right? The world as we know it is in chaos. Hospitals are overwhelmed, people are confined to their homes, and the streets are eerily empty. The economy is taking a nosedive, with businesses shutting down and unemployment rates skyrocketing. It's like something out of a dystopian movie, but it's our reality. And then bam, out of nowhere, this plan appears, a roadmap to reset the world economy. It's called the Great Reset, and it's being championed by some of the most influential people on the planet. The idea is to use this crisis as an opportunity to rebuild the global economy in a way that's more sustainable and equitable. Sounds like a noble goal, right? Sounds great on paper, right? Like, who doesn't love a good reset button? Imagine being able to wipe the slate clean and start fresh. It's an appealing thought, especially when everything seems to be falling apart. The promise of financial success and a brighter future is hard to resist. But here's where things get a little sus. As with any grand plan, there are always skeptics. Some people are starting to question the true motives behind the Great Reset. They point to the fact that the people pushing for this reset are the same ones who have benefited the most from the current system. It makes you wonder what's really going on here. Some people, and I'm talking like serious conspiracy theorists here, they think this whole Great Reset thing is actually a smokescreen. They believe it's a cover for something much more sinister. These theories range from the plausible to the downright outlandish, but they all share a common theme: distrust of those in power, like a cover story for something way more sinister. The idea is that the Great Reset is a way for the global elite to consolidate their power and control over the rest of us. They argue that this isn't about creating a fairer world, but about tightening their grip on society. They're saying it's all about control, man. Think about it. If you can control the economy, you can control the people. It's a chilling thought, but one that resonates with a lot of people who feel powerless in the face of such massive changes. They think the big dogs, the global elite, whatever you want to call them, are using this crisis to seize even more power. These are the people who already have immense wealth and influence, and now they're looking to expand their reach even further. It's a classic case of the rich getting richer, while the rest of us are left to pick up the pieces. And they're talking about a future where we're all microchipped, monitored 24/7, with no privacy, no freedom, nothing. Imagine a world where every move you make is tracked, every conversation is recorded, and there's no escape from the watchful eyes of those in power. It's a dystopian nightmare that feels all too possible in today's world. I'm talking about a cashless society where everything you do is tracked, every move you make is recorded. In this new world, cash is obsolete, and every transaction is digital. This means that every purchase you make, every place you visit, and every interaction you have is logged and monitored. It's a level of surveillance that we've never seen before. How much control do we already give up with our phones, with social media? We willingly share so much of our lives online, often without thinking about the consequences. Our data is collected, analyzed, and used in ways we can't even imagine. It's a trade-off we've accepted for the convenience and connectivity that technology provides. It's kind of creepy when you really think about it. The idea that we're constantly being watched, that our every move is being tracked, is unsettling. And yet it's become a normal part of our lives. We've grown accustomed to the surveillance, often without questioning it. And this Great Reset thing, it plays right into that. The push for digital currencies and universal basic income is seen by some as a way to further entrench this system of control. It's a future where everything is interconnected and there's no escaping the digital web that surrounds us. They're talking about digital currencies, universal basic income, the whole 9 yards. These ideas are being presented as solutions to the problems we're facing, but they also come with strings attached. The question is, are we willing to accept those strings in exchange for the benefits? And the thing is, some of it actually makes sense. The idea of a more equitable economy where everyone has a safety net is appealing. It's a vision of a better world, one where we take care of each other and ensure that no one is left behind. But at what cost? So, what do you guys think? Am I just being paranoid here, or is there something more to this whole Great Reset thing? It's a complex issue with no easy answers, and it's something we all need to think about. Are we heading towards a brighter future, or are we walking into a trap? Let me know in the comments, because this is some seriously freaky stuff. Your thoughts and opinions matter, and it's important that we have these conversations. After all, the future is something we all share, and we need to be vigilant about the direction we're heading in. All right, guys, let's talk about aliens. Or, more specifically, let's dive into the mysterious world of UFOs and the government's role in all of this. Or, as the government likes to call them, unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. It's a term that sounds more scientific, more official, but let's be real, it's just a fancy way of saying UFOs. Sounds way less cool, right? So, for years, anyone who even whispered the word UFO was labelled a crazy person, right? They were the butt of jokes, the subject of ridicule, and often dismissed as conspiracy theorists. But then, something crazy happened. The narrative started to shift. Suddenly, mainstream media began covering these stories with a bit more seriousness. The government, the Pentagon, they actually released footage of these unexplained objects flying around. This wasn't just some blurry, shaky cam footage from a random person in the middle of nowhere, like what? And it wasn't just grainy footage from the 50s either. We're talking high-definition, crystal-clear videos that show these objects performing maneuvers that defy the laws of physics. I'm talking high-tech, military-grade footage of these things zipping around, making impossible maneuvers. These aren't just your average drones or experimental aircraft. Now, on the one hand, this is huge. It's like the government finally admitting that we're not alone in the universe. It's a monumental shift in how we perceive our place in the cosmos. But here's the thing that really gets me thinking, what if they're only telling us a fraction of what they actually know? What if there's a whole lot more that they're not telling us? I mean, think about it. They kept this stuff under wraps for decades, and now suddenly they're all about transparency. It just doesn't add up. They kept this quiet for decades, and now suddenly they're all about transparency. It just seems a little too convenient, you know? Almost like they're trying to control the narrative. It just seems a little too convenient, you know? It's like they're trying to control the narrative, drip-feeding us information so we don't freak out. But why now? Why this sudden change of heart? It's like they're trying to control the narrative, drip-feeding us information so we don't freak out. Maybe they're preparing us for something bigger, or maybe they're just trying to distract us from something else entirely. Either way, it's clear that there's more to this story than meets the eye. Chapter 3. The Epstein Network, Secrets of the Rich and Powerful. Okay, this next one is dark, guys. We're diving into a world that feels like it was ripped straight out of a thriller novel. This is some real-life true crime stuff that'll keep you up at night. The kind of story that makes you question everything you thought you knew about the world. We're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, the billionaire financier, who was arrested for sex trafficking underage girls. His arrest sent shockwaves through the corridors of power. Now, on the surface, this already sounds like the plot of a creepy movie, right? But this isn't fiction. This is real life, and it's far more disturbing. But the deeper you dig into this story, the more twisted and disturbing it gets. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion, each one more rotten than the last. Because Epstein wasn't just some random creep. This dude was connected. He had ties to some of the most influential people on the planet. I'm talking about politicians, celebrities, royalty. Some of the most powerful people in the world were linked to this guy. They attended his parties, they flew on his jet, they visited his island, they were on his private jet, they visited his private island, they were all over him. It's like he was the spider at the center of a very dark web. And then Epstein commits suicide in his jail cell before he can go to trial. The timing of his death raised a lot of eyebrows and sparked countless conspiracy theories. I mean, come on guys, the circumstances are just too convenient. It's almost like a scene from a movie where the villain is silenced before he can reveal the mastermind. We've all seen enough movies to know how this works. The bad guy gets taken out before he can spill the beans. But this isn't Hollywood. This is real life. It just seems way too suspicious, especially with all the high-profile people involved. The connections, the timing, everything points to something bigger at play. It's like someone or something wanted to silence him before he could talk, to keep the secrets of the rich and powerful buried forever. Chapter 4. The Moon Landing. One giant leap or one giant lie? All right, this next one is a classic. We're going all the way back to 1969 to the Apollo 11 mission, to the day Neil Armstrong supposedly took one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. It was a moment that defined a generation, a testament to human ingenuity and the indomitable spirit of exploration. Or was it? Because for decades now, there's been this persistent theory that the moon landing was faked. I know, it sounds crazy, right? But hear me out. There are all these weird inconsistencies in the footage, things that just don't add up, like why is the American flag waving in the wind? On the moon? There's no air in space, guys? And then there are the shadows. They're all messed up, like they were created by multiple light sources. On the moon. The only light source on the moon is the sun. So what's going on there? Chapter 5. The Rise of the Machines. Is AI our future or our doom? All right, guys, this last one is less about shadowy figures and secret societies and more about the future of humanity. We're talking about artificial intelligence, or AI. Now, on the one hand, AI is amazing. It's revolutionizing everything from medicine to transportation to how we order pizza. But what happens when AI becomes too smart, like Terminator-level smart? That's what keeps some people up at night. The idea that we are creating these super-intelligent machines that could one day decide they don't need us anymore. And I know what you're thinking, that's just science fiction, right? But here's the thing, AI is learning at an exponential rate. What takes us years to learn, AI can master in seconds. It's already beating us at chess go, even video games. So, how long until it surpasses us in everything? And once it does, what's to stop it from turning on us? So there you have it, guys. 5 of the biggest, craziest, most mind-blowing conspiracies out there. Whether you believe them or not, one thing's for sure. The truth is often stranger than fiction. And who knows, maybe some of these conspiracies are more than just theories. Maybe there's some truth to them. Maybe there are forces at work that we don't fully understand. So keep an open mind, do your own research, and never stop questioning. If you're ready to uncover more hidden truths, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.